You might have heard that Teflon is not safe.
Toxic.
Sure, it was considered a game changer in simplifying kitchen cleanup since its debut in the 1940s.
Cleaning the kitchen.
However, it isn't exactly the culinary superhero we once thought it was. It is also true that Teflon-coated pans, skillets, and woks have made our lives easier by allowing us to cook and clean up in a breeze. Yet there's a darker side to this kitchen innovation that's been hiding in plain sight.
What are we talking, poison?
This is a tale of the sneaky toxin lurking in our cookware, which we unwittingly introduce into our dishes every time we whip up a meal using Teflon. We will also discuss how much effort has gone into keeping this hidden from us, and why it might be time to consider healthier alternatives for our kitchens. Ever heard of forever chemicals? Well, if you have, then you know about PFAS. These are man-made chemicals that have earned their nickname because, frankly, they just don't break down. Ever. So what's the big deal? Well, it means PFAS stick around in our environment indefinitely, causing ongoing harm to both human health and the world around us. PFAS is short for per- and polyfluoroalkyl substances, but let's skip the chemistry lesson. What you need to know is that these are super tough molecules with carbon-fluorine bonds that just won't quit. Sadly, consuming them in large amounts has been linked to health issues like diabetes and cancer. The question is, why would we consume them? You know those trusty non-stick pans that many of us have in our kitchens? A lot of them are coated with Teflon. It is typically made using several harmful PFAS. The worry initially stemmed from the side of PFOA, perfluorooctanoic acid or C8, in making Teflon, which raised concerns about cancer and led to bans. However, other PFAS stepped in as substitutes, and the truth is all PFAS, to varying degrees, come with potential risks. If you happen to accidentally crank up the heat on a Teflon-coated pan and leave it there for a while, you might find yourself in the hospital with a condition known as Teflon flu or polymer fume fever. This unpleasant condition comes with severe breathing problems. Even if you follow all the rules and use these non-stick pans just as the manufacturers tell you to, they can still unnecessarily put your health at risk. The chemicals released by Teflon can not only harm humans, but are extremely deadly to pet birds, even in tiny amounts. Surprisingly, you might carry some of these harmful Teflon byproducts in your body, even if you've never used Teflon-coated cookware, as it has various applications beyond the kitchen. There's also a troubling side to this story. DuPont, a major player in Teflon production, got accused of a questionable corporate cover-up. It's well documented that DuPont disposed of thousands of tons of PFOA into public waterways and sludge ponds, ultimately contaminating groundwater. Corporate documents and private medical studies show that DuPont and 3M, health and safety company, were aware of the environmental and health risks for many years, but allowed the contamination to persist. In 2017, a U.S. court granted a $671 million settlement to over 3,500 individuals who claimed they developed cancers and other illnesses due to exposure to PFOA dumped by DuPont. Additionally, there's a movie called Dark Waters by Focus Features that portrays these events dramatically. It's a 126-minute film that has received high praise on Rotten Tomatoes, with a rating above 90%. So the question is, are there any alternatives to PFOA? The revelation of PFOA's dangers after the controversy significantly impacted the non-stick cookware market and various other industries. It sparked concerns among consumers. Brands like Green Pan took the initiative to create a fresh category of non-stick cookware based on ceramics. These products are often promoted as green and are produced without PFOA materials, which were previously linked to health concerns. Despite concerns about PFOA and PTFE, research shows that PTFE-coated pans still hold a strong position in global sales. Nevertheless, ceramic cookware is steadily gaining popularity, particularly as more households choose to cook with safer materials. So, if you're thinking about the impact of your cookware on yourself and the environment, then it is important to consider the energy usage too. Teflon-coated pots and pans heat up quickly, but they tend to hold heat longer than your food needs. This means you'll have to crank up the heat to get your food hot enough, which we already know can be problematic with non-stick pans. On the other hand, ceramic cookware is naturally better at retaining heat. It requires less energy to heat your food, and your meals stay warm longer. This can be crucial in preventing food-related illnesses. Plus, ceramic cookware evenly distributes heat, giving you more control over your cooking and ensuring your food is thoroughly cooked. Before you invest in a non-toxic non-stick pan, consider its lifespan and what happens when it's time to replace it. If you buy a Teflon pan and toss it in the trash once the coating wears off, the remaining PTFE can harm birds when the pan ends up in a landfill. Another significant concern with non-stick Teflon and coated pans is the challenge of disposing of them in an environmentally safe way when they reach the end of their useful life, which is typically 1 to 5 years. Most often, discarded nonstick pans end up in landfills, where harmful chemicals are absorbed into the earth. These toxins can eventually find their way into our soil and nearby bodies of water, contributing to pollution. Sadly, areas with polluted water supplies have seen increased health issues linked to the disposal of coated cookware with Teflon. It's heartening to know that there are ways to remove some of these harmful chemicals from the environment, but many countries lack the resources to do so. Considering these facts, how can we protect ourselves? 1. Ceramics, of course, as mentioned before, should be your first choice. It provides a non-stick surface without the health risks associated with Teflon. 2. Cast iron skillets and pans are renowned for their durability and heat retention. When properly seasoned, they become naturally non-stick, making them an excellent alternative to Teflon. Cooking with cast iron can also boost your iron intake, benefiting your health. 3. Stainless steel pots and pans are durable, easy to clean, and scratch-resistant. While they may require a bit more oil or butter to prevent sticking, they are a safe and long-lasting choice. If you're using Teflon pots and pans and can't switch to alternatives, there are ways to lower the risks associated with them. First, it's crucial to steer clear of cooking at very high temperatures, because Teflon can release harmful gases when it gets too hot. Stick to lower or medium heat settings and avoid using Teflon cookware under a broiler, where it can get extremely hot. Another smart practice is not preheating empty cookware. Empty pots and pans heat up faster than those filled with food or liquid, which can reduce the release of the unwanted fumes that Teflon can produce with intense heat. Using proper ventilation is also essential. When you cook with Teflon products, ensure you have good airflow by turning on exhaust fans or opening windows. This helps in keeping any potentially harmful fumes from accumulating in your kitchen. Additionally, avoid using metal utensils when cooking with Teflon cookware. Metal tools can scratch the Teflon surface, which not only affects its lifespan, but may also release harmful substances. Instead, opt for silicone, wood, or plastic utensils, which are gentler on your cookware. When it comes to cleaning your Teflon pots and pans, hand washing is the way to go. Be gentle while washing them, and avoid using abrasive cleaning tools like steel wool or scouring pads that can scratch the Teflon coating. Lastly, make sure you're using pots and pans that were manufactured after 2013. This ensures that they do not contain PFOA in the production of Teflon. Following these simple guidelines, you can cook with Teflon more safely and reduce potential risks. The need to bid farewell to Teflon cookware isn't just about ease in the kitchen. It goes deeper, touching upon the hidden risks of PFOA, the long-lasting harm to the environment, and the health threats lurking in the background. Here's the unfortunate truth. The pace of industrial innovation has sprinted ahead of regulatory measures in the United States and worldwide. As a result, chemical byproducts like PFOA and Gen X are still contaminating our surroundings. Shockingly, traces of these chemicals have been discovered in the blood of over 98% of people in the US. You might wonder if criminal charges against corporate bigwigs could serve as a deterrent, but until that happens, there's little incentive to prioritize the responsible management of these chemicals. The status quo persists, and it's up to us to make informed choices about what we bring into our kitchens and our lives. By opting for safer alternatives and being mindful of the potential environmental consequences, you can make informed choices for your kitchen. It's not just about what's easy to cook with, it's about safeguarding your health, protecting the environment, and contributing to a safer, healthier future for yourself and future generations. The shift away from Teflon cookware is not just a trend, but a responsible choice that aligns with a growing awareness of the impact our daily decisions have on our well-being and the planet we call home. So, why get rid of Teflon? The answer is clear: for the sake of your health, the environment, and the safety of your loved ones.